Have you ever wondered how to access and tap into your intuition? Today, Allison and I are going to be sharing with you 3 specific tips that are going to help you unlock your intuition so you can live your inspired life.
Yeah, and intuition is such an important part of living. You may ask, well, what's the important part about intuition? Why should I live intuitively? Why do I need to have intuition? Well, intuition is what allows you to access your inner blueprint, that blueprint that will lead you to your unique design for success and happiness. You see, there's not a one-size-fits-all answer for everybody. And I'm sure you've been confused sometimes and you've looked at different experts, or you've asked the people around you for advice on a certain topic, or maybe you've even asked them for advice on what you should do. And you've become more confused because everybody has a different answer. In fact, in a recent study done at Harvard, they found that people that asked for advice were more confused after receiving the advice than they were before. So oftentimes intuition is about looking within for the answer that's already within you.
It's so easy for us to want other people to give us the roadmap. You know, we want other people to tell us what to do and how we should do it, and we've been conditioned like this since we were young. Right? Like, let's look at how our culture has been set up, right? You grow up and you have these parental figures and they're always telling you what to do, and they're saying no, 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 yes, 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 and they're basically telling what you do. And then we're pushed into the school system where the school teachers have a very specific way of teaching us and instructing us, and we're taught what's right, what's wrong. And so we're conditioned from the time we're born to believe that someone outside of us has the answers that we need.
Absolutely. And actually, contrary to popular belief, I don't believe that there are some people that are more intuitive than other people. I don't think that we're born inherently intuitive or not. I think we're all born with this gift of intuition. We're all born with the ability to find the answers within ourselves. It's just that we forget how to do that, or we're never taught how to do that. We don't learn how to do that. So there are some specific things that you can do to realign with your intuition in order to live a more intuitive life.
And when you live a more intuitive life, what you'll notice is you're going to be able to just stay in the flow. You're going to be able to really just have a knowing of what you should do and when you should do it. And even if it doesn't make sense, you'll follow that trail of intuition and you'll notice that everything seems to work out perfectly for you.
Oh my gosh, at the beginning of the coronavirus, this whole outbreak that was crazy, I remember having this freak out moment. Maybe you had one of those freak out moments too. We were actually in Istanbul on our way back from Nepal, where we had been doing this amazing spiritual adventure retreat with our clients. But we're in Istanbul. I remember I'm in this fancy hotel and I go to the bathroom and I just started crying. I had this freak out moment. What am I going to do? How's my business going to grow? I mean, the whole business was based on having live events. The whole business was based on working with people whose now their industry had been shut down or was being shut down due to Corona. And I remember Gerald was there, and we went and we had this specific meditative session where we just asked, how can we best show up? How can we serve the world? And we got the answer to hold an event with hundreds of people. Now, this made no sense because everything was shutting down, but we listened to our intuition, we surrendered, and then presented in our path along the way became opportunities to have a virtual event that we held with almost 1,000 people from all over the world. Now, in my mind, I was thinking a live event, but it absolutely came to pass virtually. So here are 3 keys that you can do to live intuitively. You may have had those moments yourself where you've had these freak out moments, or where you've had these thoughts that made absolutely no sense. You followed them and they've worked out. That's your intuition. So number 1 is to have a clear intention. So intention fuels intuition. So if you don't have a goal, if you don't know the direction that you want to go, then your GPS, your intuition, that guidance system inside of you can't direct you on how to get there. So what is it that you're wanting to achieve in life? For Gerald and I, when we were in Istanbul, we knew we wanted to show up. We knew we wanted to serve the world. So we had a really clear intention. The second thing is to create a question from your intention. So every good intention starts with a good question. So we asked, how can we best show up and serve the world at this time? Now, by asking questions, it's going to open up your mind to look for possibilities, to look for answers. And you want to get back in that subconscious mind to get the answers. So the third tip is to let it go and trust. So get into a meditative state or ask your question right before bed at a time when your subconscious can work on it. Oftentimes, our subconscious is that part that taps into our intuition. It's the part that knows far greater than our conscious minds can even comprehend.
So it's really critical as you go through these 3 steps. Number 1, having a clear intention of what you want. Number 2,
Ask a
asking a
question.
powerful question. And number 3, letting go. Like when you can do this, what you'll notice is like it's like the way that I think about it is almost like a channel. You know, like you've heard this word of people like channeling these entities or channeling. It's kind of like that, right? Where there's almost like this frequency or channel in which all of the wisdom that you need is being broadcast. But if you think about like, say, a AM, FM radio, you know, like I grew up back in the day where there was little knobs in our cars that would do it, and there was like that little dial that would go back and forth.
Oh, you're way older than me.
I know.
Just kidding.
So it's funny because back in that time, like you'd be like moving the dial and you'd have to get that little red line like right on top of that exact channel, and when you did, it was like super clear. But if it was off just a little bit, there'd be static, or if you were on the wrong station, there'd be all this other noise or other music or other things that you don't want on there. And so I kind of think of accessing our intuition, like really fine-tuning our ability to get on that channel so that we can have that clear intention, ask the right question, and then just let go. And then the information, it's like it flows through us. But one of the things that's important is being able to get out of our head. Because I know that you've probably experienced at times in your life where you've been focused on just trying to think through a problem. And you're evaluating, you're making the checklist, and you're looking at the pros, and you're looking at the cons, and you're trying to get everyone's opinions and everyone's ideas, and you're trying to make the decision from your head. What's the problem when you're trying to make the decision from your head?
When you're in your head, you're dead, right? And when you in your heart, that's when things flow easily and effortlessly to you. When you're living intuitively, things flow easily and effortlessly to you. And think of this as a practice in trust. How many times have you gotten an impression or you've got an idea to do something and you thought, oh, that makes no sense at all. Why would I do that? And you logically try and think of reasons why you should do that, or you talk yourself out of doing something you really strongly in your gut feel or know that you should do because it's just not making sense in your head. Well, those are the times that you may be talking yourself out of the most important things in your life. That's the time you may be talking yourself out of stepping into a situation where things come easily and effortlessly to you. When we were in Istanbul, and we got this thought or this idea to have an event with hundreds of people, that made no sense at all. Everything was shutting down. In my mind, in my logical thinking brain, the only thing I could think of or perceive were these live events. But by being open to it, by saying, okay, we're going to set that intention, we're going to call in the ability to be able to have an event with hundreds of people, we were open to a suggestion of an online event. And then of course that came into creation. So learn to trust yourself.
When you trust that burst of inspiration, when you follow that trail of your intuition, then all of a sudden one decision will lead to another and lead to another. And when you can practice living in trust, then what you'll notice is like things just work out. It's like they work out magically, they work out effortlessly. And you're like, you look back at the journey once you make it to the top of the mountains and you're like, oh, now I get why I had to take all those twists and turns and how to take all those steps. How do you create that daily experience with your intuition?
Oh, absolutely.
So that every day you're taking that inspired action that you need to create the life that you want.
Yeah, this is really important. It's something I talk about in my book, Soul Intuition. It's something I train on. And that is being able to, every night before you go to bed, figure out what's an intention, what's something you want in your life. Maybe it's a business intention, maybe it's in your personal life, maybe you want to create a better relationship with one of your children, maybe you want to get more clients in your business, maybe you want to find your dream home, whatever it is, decide what you want, create that intention, right? Intention is the first step, and then make it into a question. How can I continue to have a great relationship with my daughter? Make sure you phrase it positively. How can I call in the dream home that would allow me to have the family and friends over that I desire? Maybe your question is, how can I serve the world in a bigger way and help more people to be able to da-da-da, whatever it is you do in your business? Ask that question before bed. Write it down on a piece of paper in a journal by your bed. Now here's the key. Don't think about it. Go to bed. Let your subconscious mind work on this all night. And then when you wake up in the morning, within 5 minutes, go ahead and pick up that piece of paper, pick up the journal, read that question, and you're going to write down the first 3 action steps that come to your mind. Now, you may have something interesting happen, like maybe your question is, how can I get more clients in my business? Or how can I serve the world in a bigger way through my business? And the first thing that comes to your mind is take a bath. Just trust it. Maybe you're stressed. Maybe that bath's going to help you calm down. Maybe you're going to have something that comes to your mind in that bath and a way to grow your business. Whatever that is, maybe it is, how can I strengthen my relationship with my daughter? And maybe you get the idea of going on a bike ride with her. Whatever it is, write down the first 3 things that come to your mind and then take that daily inspired action.
So as you continue to practice tapping into your intuition, living from the space of what we call your soul intuition, you'll just notice that magic tends to happen in your life. Effortless miracles begin to occur. You're going to notice the sense of abundance that you have and the sense of effortless joy that you experience as you simply learn how to practice and tune into this. So do this, use this practice, and this is the path of creating your legendary life. So thank you so much for joining us for this video. I'm Gerald.
I'm Allison.
So Allison, please subscribe to this channel to make sure that you capture more insights and wisdom of how you can live your legendary life. And check out the links below. We have some special offers and opportunities to support you in moving forward and creating the life you're meant to live.